Joined by Dan Sheehan, head coach of the national champion Moyne College Dolphins, and student athletes most valuable player Brandon Enneman, Kendall Vecchio, and Alex Krawek. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Sheehan.
Boy, this is a group. Our program is built around defense, and hopefully there are enough folks in the stands today that understand that number one for Limestone, Mike Messenger, is one of the best players. I've been doing this at Division II for 19 years, and one of the best players that I've ever coached against. And for our defense to do what they did, not only against Mike, but an offense that's scoring 18, 19 goals a game. That's who we are. That's who we are. And, through the entire postseason, we've talked about it's a game of runs. We made a run, just like we did last year, in the same place. Limestone responded, and we made another run. Last year, maybe we didn't have an answer for that second run, but this year, I think the table was turned, and we're just damn glad to be here.
Coach, if you could pass your microphone over to Brendan, we'll open it up to questions for the student athletes.
Brendan, your matchup, obviously, congrats on being. Congrats, obviously, on the award. But your matchup, what kind of went into that, and obviously, kind of going back to what Coach was just saying, you guys were in this spot a year ago, didn't finish this time around. What was different for you guys finishing up there in the fourth quarter?
Well, it's really a team effort. So you go into a matchup against like a great player like Kyle Radigan. Obviously, you have your one-on-one matchups, but when you got 5 other guys behind or 6 other guys behind you on the same page that are willing to help and willing to cover up your mistakes and give you that another sense of confidence. So you don't get stage fright so much as if you got your whole team behind you. So I was really proud of how our team was cohesive today.
Over on the wall.
This is for Alex. I'm guessing the shot volume was a lot lower than what you're expecting from this team, but how about the shot selection? Did it line up well with what you're expecting to see?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tribute to the 5 or 6 guys in front of me all day, putting us in the best position to see the shots that I wanted to see. And at the end of the day, I think, I only had 7 or 8 saves, but, they were the shots we wanted to see. And our defense did a great job in front of me, so.
All right, we'll go in the middle now.
Brendan, it kind of felt like this team was very battle tested comparatively to Limestone. Just the run that you had in the postseason, where you had some games that were some close, some runs that you had to kind of prevent from some very high powered teams. Just how prepared did you feel with that run that you had leading up to it?
Well, you look at New York Tech. We hadn't been trailing a team in the fourth quarter the entire season. So I think that was a really important moment for us, where we could face that kind of adversity. And like towards the end of the game, where we really need a goal and then we really need to stop on the other end. So just specifically that game, but again, Merrimack's a great team that we played, and just playing high-powered teams during the season, I think really prepared us well for this matchup today.
In the back corner.
This question is for Brendan, but for any of the players, really. Can you just talk about what goes on at Moyne practices over the course of your career, and maybe specifically for Brendan, what kind of work you were doing on a day-to-day basis to get you where you're at to have this kind of performance today in this game?
Brendan, you want to take that first?
Yeah, sure. There's not really any like single things that I do to play how I do. It's really just doing normal stuff like talking off ball and like helping out your teammates, because that's really what it comes down to. It's really cohesive practice, like every day, offense and defense. It's not one guy showing out by himself. It's a lot of collective effort from everybody. So, and I think that showed today. Just defensively, we were really tight, and offensively, we were able to get some goals that were off great assists.
Kendall, anything to add to that?
Not much. It comes down to coach getting on me every single day to get out there, and when I'm not working hard, just pushing me, everybody else pushing me, and getting in there, getting some extra ground balls, extra face-offs at the end of the day. Everybody rallied me today. Kind of still starstruck right now.
Alex?
Yep.
Anything to
Oh, no.
big comments? Okay.
I mean, practice every day is just intense. It's up and down, for 2 straight hours. We don't go that long, but it's just every second that we're there, we're getting up and down the field. We're getting disguised conditioning 24/7. Defense is working well, the offense. And, I mean, for our ones to go against our twos every day is making our ones 10 times better, just because I think our second team and our scout team really, it's just a test for them to go out and prepare for example, to prepare for limestone all week, to have 3 different kids running for Mike Messenger, different people running for Radigan, etc. Just, the scout team really, it's hats off to them. They did a hell of a job this week. It's impressive.
All right. All right. Into the middle and then into the front row here.
Kendall, you're going against a guy today who's been the dominant face-off specialist in Division II lacrosse. How did you prepare for this?
I can't give any credit without Coach Sheehan getting on me, Coach Casalia. Without
Coach Casalia.
Yeah.
Coach Casalia.
Coach Casalia showed me everything and prepared me this whole week through text messages and video and when he came and we had our hour practices. He showed me everything, and I can't do anything without the scout guys. They give me a great look. Guys in the stands who didn't really play, they gave me a great look this week. And every single face-off I went out there, he just told me, just go out there and make it your game. And it really rallied me to try and come out and come strong for the second half. And I appreciate everything that my team does for me.
Thanks, Kendall. To the front row.
For all 3 of you guys, just given that in this spot last year that they were able to get the better of you guys, just how much did that loss stick with you guys over the last year, and how special is it to finish them off this time to get your title?
Alex, you want to take that first?
Sure. I mean, it really does stick with you every day. Me and Coach were sitting in this chair last year, and we're here in Limestone and celebrate over there. And that's just a moment you'll never forget. And it stuck with us throughout the whole entire off season, even through summer. Every sprint we do, every lift we do, every practice we have. And this is what we have in mind. Is that goal is to be Limestone and to get back here. So.
Kendall.
It kind of sat with me for a long time. I got a trophy they gave me, just sat there in front of my face and just looked at me every single day. And going through lifts, trying to run and stuff like that, it willed me to want to come back and not be in the same position last year. It was a terrible feeling, and I wanted to give these seniors something to go out on.
Brendan.
Yeah, we certainly never forgot about last year. Like seeing the disappointment on the seniors' faces that we had to pass off. It was really fulfilling to redeem ourselves. I mean, even looking at the game, it was kind of similar to how it started last year. We went up early a little bit, they rallied back, we were down for a little bit, and then this time we were able to, like Coach said, we absorbed the second wave and we could really do what we've been practicing to do, and we executed very well today.
All right, time for teamwork with student athletes. All right, gentlemen, you guys can go back to the locker room now. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now we'll open up to questions for Coach Sheehan, and we'll start in the second row.
Coach, what specifically did you do defensively to slow down this very high-powered offense? Coach Clark talked about quick slides, doing things to prevent them from using picks. Can you kind of break it down a little bit for us what this team did defensively?
Yeah, it's funny. I read a quote that JB made after last weekend, and it talked about went something like this: like Moyne does a great job in getting you to take the shots they want you to take. And Brendan's one hell of a player, but in my opinion, the most outstanding player, without question, of today's game is number 17, Kyle DeAngelis. We covered the best player in Division in Division II with a short stick. So anybody who knows anything about lacrosse, so So one of the guys that should be here is Kyle. Our program is built around short stick defensive midfielders. You know, you can watch the games tomorrow, and success or failures are going to happen on the shoulders of two guys on the field and your defensive end, 99% of the time. And yeah, so, you know, matchup wise, like, you know, we have a recipe, and I'll be honest with you, we had back at the hotel, we had a big screen TV with all the DVD hookups and computer hookups to watch film. We didn't watch a drop of film when we stepped foot in Philadelphia, because it's really got nothing to do with the guys in the locker room that way. Our recipe says it has everything to do with the guys in the locker room on that side. And when I can trust a guy like Kyle DeAngelis to cover the best player, did we slide a lot? You know, yeah, I would say that we made some plays when they turned their back to the cage. And again, I think they scored 0 goals in the second half. They took 18 shots. They had 18 shots by breakfast this morning. So our defense is what wins championships. And this time of year, when you're good in the goal and you're good at the X, Kendall Vecchio has taken maybe a third of our faceoffs all year long, if that. And I think our staff does a great job of putting kids in spots to be successful, and we believe in them. That's one hell of a team, without question. Limestone, one hell of a team. Somebody told me earlier that the Vegas odds were 3.5 or something like that. Like, that's a hell of a team, and they took 18 shots. We're from Syracuse, where it hasn't gotten above 62 degrees the entire year, and I think we were in better shape today. It actually was a little warmer up there last week.
In the middle?
Coach, some I don't know if bold is the right word, but some coaching moves that you did, you know, using a face-off guy who's taken about a third of your draws, putting a short stick on the best player in the country, moving a guy like Taylor to attack from midfield. A lot of shake-ups pregame, maybe a lot of kind of bold moves. Just your reasoning behind that.
Oh boy, just a brilliant mind. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. No, it's you know, we just it's really simple. If anybody was standing on our bench today, the word that came out of every coach's mouth on the sidelines is simple. Simple isn't always easier. You know, we really try to keep things simple, and we believe in our guys. You know, we have the opportunity to have a front row seat to watch Kyle DeAngelis tee people up every day in practice. He's got to deal with Brian Rogers every single day in practice. So yeah, no, outside of our recipe, like I said, you know, we couldn't wait to get out of town. But while we were in town, it was all about Limestone, and as soon as we got here, it's all about us. And I apologize that it's nothing sexier than that. There was not one scratch on a grease board on our sidelines that game. So there's no master, like, super secret plays by any means.
All right, over on the wall there.
Last year you also had a very good defense. They had a very good offense. But what do you think was the big difference between the two seasons?
Well, the difference in the two games, Limestone made a playoff face-off last year where Reisman put it behind him. I think Messenger picked it up, and 17 caught it on a dead sprint. Anybody that remembers that play, and that was a dagger, an absolute dagger into 48 guys' hearts. So there was quite a bit of emphasis on wing play. Yeah, you know, offensively, I think we made some plays. I think, you know, looking back, the first half was a little bit sloppy. We had an opportunity to. When we walked in the locker room at halftime, I said we are winning every aspect of this game except the one that matters. And we didn't change anything that we were doing. We just got better.
the back corner.
Coach, congrats.
Thank you.
You just said the key word, get better. Can you talk about your coaching philosophy and how maybe it's evolved over the course of seasons to do that differently, to get better differently?
Yeah, I ride these guys really hard. I try to. It's nothing brilliant. It's more real world. We have a pursuit of excellence. If they do something well, I want it better. And a lot of the times during practice, it comes up to be, okay, if I was your boss and you were my employee, like, would this be acceptable, or would I replace you? So I think we try to give the kids a real world, that, and I think we talk an awful lot. We coach for May. If it's not acceptable in May, it's not okay. And that's starting first fall ball practice. They probably get sick of me hearing me tell stories about opportunities to be here in Philadelphia. But I think in 19 years, I got a pretty good idea of what it takes, and hats off to them that they listen. I think probably the thing I'm most proud of this year, we're pretty damn good, and I don't think we played our best lacrosse yet. And we're going to graduate Alex, who's one hell of a keeper, but I get the other two guys back. And that scout team, it took us 6 guys to fill the shoes of Mike Messenger this week in practice. But those 6 guys got better this week, and we'll have them next year.
We have time for one more question. All right, Coach.
Thank you.
That's it. Congratulations.